Welcome, welcome, welcome. Up to this point, I've been posting videos to impart wisdom. Basically, I'm trying to encourage you to be your best self. And one of the ways that I want to do that is for you to make individual choices. I kind of hate sites that give you this one size fits all philosophy and say if you make your bed and you get up 5 a.m. in the morning and take a cold shower. And I think we're so unique, so different. And that mixture, it's kind of like making a meal. Some people like it a little salty, some people a little spicy, some people like it mild, some people don't like certain ingredients in it, some people like it to be a little mushy, and they're not wrong. If that's how you like it, that's how you like it. Some people like steak with blood oozing out. I'm not a fan. Some people think, I like it to the point where it's kind of hard to eat and people don't like that, but I love it. I love it. I don't like steak sauce and things like that. So if there are so many variations in how people eat food and drink drinks and when they go to sleep and how they wake up, and how can I make a one size fits all approach to being authentic, individual, and living your best life? Now, there are some rules, some categories that I would specify. So I think at the heart of it is one, recognizing what makes you content, happy, that makes you feel the most comfortable in your skin. And what I've learned with myself and others is that process of becoming comfortable in one's skin is very, very difficult when we spend how many decades trying to please others or to be what society has deemed us as being appropriate. So I think we all need to be refreshed, rebranded, and made new. And one of the ways that we're going to be made new is by starting to just do something new. And you're going to find that when you add a little extra pepper, it might cause you to have a stomach upset. It might not taste good. It may be an issue that's going to, but guess what? Guess what? You eliminate something. All right. Don't like spicy foods. I thought I didn't like it. I wasn't sure, but I really don't like it spicy. And one of my favorite things to do is to drive the other direction. Make it more personal. So I moved here about where I live in New York about 2 years ago. And there's obviously main routes to get to the supermarket and to get to the grocery store and the Chinese food store and different kind of things. And I work a lot, I have a corporate job. And one of the things that I like to do is to get to places at a certain time, get it done, move. And my life is very structured in terms of I do this and I do this and I eat this and I eat that. My partner always says, come on, try something else, do something new, right? And one of the things I discovered is as I was driving back, I said, you know what? Why don't I take this right turn here and see where it ends up? Or no, it was a left turn actually. I went straight down where I normally go and I make a left up to this one-way street that I've always wondered about. And I just made some zigzags, and I was like, oh, I'm at the supermarket. And I said, this is relaxing, it's different. I'm starting to see the neighborhood more. I'm starting to see the people that are around me. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of interesting. Actually, I didn't even know that there was so many houses on this side. And I started, taking time to kind of enjoy the moment of driving. And what I do is, depending on how I feel, I either take that special route or I take the normal route. And I've started to do that little by little, taking different routes, getting lost, kind of, doing it on days that it's not a big deal and I'm in a rush. And I really have nothing else to do anyway. Now, I mentioned this simple thing to make you know that it brought me a little bit of joy. I kind of like discovering different places. I kind of enjoy just seeing things that are a little bit out of the ordinary. And for me, I like to get lost. I like to feel this inner compass inside of myself that gets me and points me north, right? And I've always learned how to map that way. I'm not a GPS guy. I use GPS is if I'm in an emergency and I got to get to a point A and B. Otherwise, I'm like, all right, it's north. Let me see where this takes me. And I've found that that's always a good thing when you're not strapped for time. So anyway, I jumped off on another tangent, and this is one of the things that you're not going to get in a more structured video. But I do realize that YouTube is more of we're supposed to connect with each other. I want to know the people that I'm helping, and I want to know if I'm helping you, and I want you to comment. And a part of me is saying, all right, I want to be successful. I want to have views. I want to have a large audience. But deep down in myself, I have a lot of knowledge inside of myself. Some actionable, some might be nonsense. You might be watching this and saying, nothing that I'm saying makes sense to you. But I've always desired to help people. I've always been the kind of the person who at work who's helping 20 different people on 20 different projects. I'm always the guy on the street that people walk up to and ask questions, even though I'm just as lost as they are. So for me, this is like nirvana, right? This is one of the things that I love to do. And when you start doing the things that you love, it ceases to be work in the sense that it's not something that you have to do. And I guess to make this simple and not make this an extremely long video, I want you to find the things in life that you want to do. And this is not a hedonism thing where you just drink and smoke and watch TV and laugh all day and veg out. And no. I'm talking about the thing that inspires you and lights something up inside of you. So I'm hoping to still do the videos that I've been doing because I like it. I like that as I come up with the idea and I start to crystallize ways to make you better, that I can just impart that to you and you can kind of use that however you will. But I also want to start communicating because this is outside of my comfort zone. It's always been a weird thing for me to watch people online connect with people that they can't see and they can't talk to. And I've always thought that they were just being fake. Like I have a joke with me and my son where he watches these kid game videos and they get so much emotion over like a game. And I'm just like, that's not real. You're obviously acting that way because you're trying to get views. And I'm going to make a promise to you that I'm not going to do anything to get views in a sense where I'm saying things that are not true. I'm trying to shortcut very complex things. One of the goals, I think, is that I want to see that as people watch and as I put more and more videos out, that I see an improvement in the world and society. My goal is amazingly big. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It is to leave such an imprint on society that from this day forward, people are going to start saying to themselves, what is my greatest good? What is my highest value? And is what I am doing right now something that's feeding to my life purpose? Is it something that brings me contentment and joy? And if that's not the question that you're asking yourself on a daily basis, an hourly basis, and a minute basis, then you are wasting your life. And I don't think that I've heard anyone else present it this way. It's always be in the moment and try to be. I don't know how to do that. I do know that you have to start asking yourself, do I want to do what I'm doing? Is it something that is necessary for life? Is there alternatives to doing that? For example, you need to work, you need to bring in income. What are the different type of jobs that you can do that can provide that same resource without you being completely unhappy? You need to eat healthy. Let's give it a caveat. But there's so many ways to eat healthy. And I think we kind of think of these things in these compartmentalized ways. And I'm telling you that life is a beautiful thing to be experienced when we are ourselves. And I don't think that I'm fully myself all the time. For example, I was born in Jamaica. I have an accent. I don't use it. Right now, I'm not using it. But at the same time, this is me. This is me expressing myself as best as I possibly can. And I hope that over time, we will develop a relationship where I can get to know who I'm speaking with, and you can start telling me how you're making this change. Because when you make this change and when you become yourself, it's not something where you can say, thank you for helping me. I want you to say, wow, because I made this change, I become new and I don't need you anymore. My goal has always been to have everyone examine their lives and to live the best life possible. So I want you to join me on this journey, and like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. But if only one person watches and says, my life has been changed, I'm over the moon. I have a full-time job. I'm good. Like, I want to do this because this to me is one of the most terrifying things. Just look, talking, I'm not fully dressed. It's my hair is like, I'm just here. And this is something that I've avoided for many, many years because I just didn't want to do it. And I feel like me doing this and you hearing I don't speak perfectly, I'm nothing where you're going to look at it and say, okay, this is some polished actor, whatever. No, I'm a regular person who wants the world to change. And this is the only way that I know to change it. And I'm going to write books. I'm going to do videos. I'm going to speak. I'm going to do whatever I need to do because I just don't think that we are all living the best that we can. And I'm just fed up with the way society is now. And I'm not talking about politics or cultures. I'm talking about individual freedom. And whatever political group, whatever thing espouses the most freedom is where I will go. So anyway, I'm rambling. I want to keep this short. Like I said, this is the first time I'm ever doing this. So I accept good comments, bad comments, and I hope this is something that you will continue to join me on. And as we grow and as these thoughts get expressed, I hope that we will create a small army that we can send out like missionaries and start asking ourselves these very simple questions and start doing this. And we, from the ground up, can create a society, a world where the pursuit of happiness is the thing, not in a hedonistic way, like I said, but in a self-fulfillment way. And you're going to see how society just explodes. Have a good day. Peace.